Hello, and welcome to The Pollinators. We're going to be discussing butterflies. My name is Christine Garrett, and I'm an adult reference librarian at the Elyria Public Library West River Branch. Here's just a little haiku about butterflies to get us all ready and in the mood. I'm not going to read it to you. Anyway, you might be asking, what is the pollinator? What is pollination? Well, pollination is when pollen is transferred from flower to flower. It's basically something that all plants need. Some plants are actually self-pollinators. Others rely on the wind to blow and bring the pollen between the flowers. And then others are dependent upon pollinators that take the pollen from one plant to the male to the female plant. Pollinators are birds and bees and butterflies, which is what we're talking about today. A pollinator can improve the health of the garden. It's going to give you more quantity, a better quality of produce. So you really do want to attract them to your yard. And since butterflies are so pretty, it's a fun one to watch flitting about in the back garden as you're sitting there. So, what do you do to attract butterflies to your garden? Well, first thing you want to do is look at your plant selection. Butterflies are attracted to flowering plants, but just because it's a flowering plant doesn't mean it's the plant the butterfly needs. You need to select plants that will feed the butterfly and will also feed the caterpillar. That's going to attract the butterfly and let it decide it wants to live here and have babies and start new butterflies. So you need to choose plants that are going to fall into two different groups. First off, the butterflies themselves are going to need nectar plants. They drink the nectar, that's what provides them energy. Then you also need plants that the caterpillars can grow on, that they can eat as they grow up. Luckily, over time, butterflies and caterpillars tend to obviously like the same plants, but as long as you select from both groups of plants, you can provide butterflies an entire life cycle and give them no reason to leave your garden. So your first step, of course, is identifying your local butterflies and caterpillars, because there's no point in putting in a bunch of flowers that aren't going to attract the locals. So then you want to, when you do that, you've got to get a wide range of plants. Just because the butterfly is attracted to bright flowers, it's not everything they need. They also need protections, they need shelter, they need water, they need sun. So you want to have a diverse group of plants. Usually see what grows in the wild, where the butterflies hang out. You're going to need bushes or things that are a little thicker so the butterfly has a place to go and rest for shelter. You want them to be different heights. You want a variety of flowers. You want your bloom times. You want a garden that's going to bloom at things blooming all summer long. So as one flower is dying back, another one is blooming. That'll keep the butterflies there. Now, let's talk about choosing your nectar plants. Butterflies, they like red and purple nectar flowers. They like flowers with a light but fresh scent. They want ample space to hide. They don't want a lot of pollen because they're small, they're light. If there's too much pollen, it's going to drag them down. And they like a flower that's shaped like a tube or has somewhere wide for them to land. They've got that big wingspan. They need something that's going to keep them steady, not something they're going to fall off of. Some native to Ohio nectar plants that attract the butterflies are milkweeds, tick seeds, daisies, Joe pie weed, sneezewood, sunflowers, the cardinal flower. There's tons of them growing in the wild. You probably have a lot of them already yourself. Bluebells, coneflowers, goldenrods, these are all flowers. Now milkweed's a good one because that's specifically going to attract monarchs, which we know are in danger, so we're trying to encourage them. And actually we have free seeds for the milkweed flowers here at the Elyria Public Library West River Branch in our seed library. We should also have some seeds for some of the other plants if anyone's interested to come take them out. Now you're also going to be looking for caterpillar food plants. Now there's some online resources you could use to find these plants for both the caterpillars and the butterflies. Mostly, like I said before, the ones that work for butterflies, they're going to work for caterpillars. They're eating the leaves on those already. But there's some online resources you can use to find what will help you out. The National Wildlife Association has a great website. They actually have a native plant, native butterfly finder key that you just put in your area, your zip code, and or what butterfly you're looking for. I had a lot of fun on that site. There's the North American Butterfly Association, or NABA. They have a ton of useful information. They do have a group here in Ohio that you can join. And what's fun about them is once you put in your butterfly garden, you can get it certified through them. And another really good one is the Pollinator Partnership. And they just had a lot of really useful programs and a ton of information on the website. But you don't have to just go online. We here at the Cleveland System have some great books on how to get you started with butterfly gardening. Here at within the Cleveland System, we can get them here. We either have them here at the library or we can bring them in for you. But some of the better ones were Butterfly Gardening, the North American Butterfly Association's Guide. So NABA has a book. And Native Plant Gardening. There's something about doing native plants and bringing in your native pollinators that just makes your garden something special. And we here at the library are going to be putting in a butterfly and bee wildflower garden right out back behind the West River branch. And you're welcome to come by, stop, see what we're doing back there, see what butterflies we've attracted, what's going on. We should be running some crafts that'll be around it and some other programming. So you're welcome to come stop by, talk about it, share some information. Maybe we could share plants. We're all looking forward to having the garden here again this year. So thank you for joining me as we talk a little bit about pollinators and butterflies. And please remember to come back for more virtual presentations on the Elyria Public Library YouTube channel. Thank you and have a really good day.